Ever wondered what it would be like to care for a pet that's equal parts adorable and mischievous? Today we're diving into the world of the common dwarf mongoose, one of the most fascinating little creatures you could ever meet. These pint-sized animals come with big personalities and a whole lot of charm, but can they really make good pets? And if so, how do you care for one? Stick around as we answer these questions and reveal just how these tiny troublemakers manage to rule their savannah kingdom. Before we dive into the details, here's another fun question for you. What unlikely feathered friends do these tiny mongooses hang out with, and why? The answer might surprise you, so keep watching to find out about this unexpected animal alliance. Next, do common dwarf mongooses make good pets? Well, it depends. These little critters are social animals, meaning they are happiest when they are part of a group. In the wild, they live in tight-knit communities, so keeping just one as a pet might leave them feeling a little lonely. If you're thinking about getting one, be prepared for some serious energy and curiosity. Dwarf mongooses are always on the go, exploring, digging, and hunting for food. They are also quite territorial, meaning they will treat their home like their own personal kingdom, defending it with all their might. So yes, they can make good pets, but only if you're ready to give them the stimulation and social interaction they need. Now let's talk about diet and nutrition. You might be wondering what exactly keeps these little guys running all day. In the wild, dwarf mongooses feast on insects like termites, beetles, and grasshoppers. They'll also eat small rodents, birds, and eggs when given the chance. So if you're thinking of keeping one, you'll need to offer them a varied diet to keep them healthy and happy. At home, you can feed your mongoose mealworms, crickets, and even some high-quality cat or dog food. It's important to include plenty of protein in their diet to mimic what they'd naturally eat in the wild. You can also add some fruits and vegetables to give them a well-rounded meal. Just be sure to avoid processed foods, as these can upset their delicate digestive system. When it comes to exercise, dwarf mongooses are full of energy and need a lot of it to stay healthy. In the wild, they spend their days running around the savannah, chasing prey, and digging into termite mounds. At home, they'll need plenty of space to run, climb, and explore. You can set up a large enclosure with tunnels, branches, and even toys to keep them entertained. Mental stimulation is just as important as physical exercise for these clever creatures. Puzzle feeders and games that challenge their problem-solving skills will keep them happy and prevent boredom. Without enough stimulation, these little troublemakers can become destructive and even aggressive. As for grooming, dwarf mongooses are pretty low maintenance. They do most of the cleaning themselves, much like cats. However, you'll want to make sure their enclosure stays clean. Regularly removing waste and uneaten food will keep their environment safe and healthy. It's also a good idea to provide them with a dust bath, which they will love. This helps keep their fur in top shape and allows them to groom themselves naturally. Now, believe it or not, you can actually train a dwarf mongoose. These little guys are smart and curious, making them excellent students when it comes to basic commands. Positive reinforcement works best with them, so be sure to have treats on hand. Start with simple tasks like coming when called, or even teaching them to use a litter box. Yes, it's possible, just remember to be patient. Training a mongoose takes time, and you need to be consistent. Short training sessions work best, as they have a short attention span, just like toddlers. When it comes to socialization and behavior, in the wild, dwarf mongooses are all about family. They live in groups, take care of each other, and even share the responsibility of raising the young. So it's essential to provide them with plenty of social interaction if you plan on keeping one as a pet. If you can, it's best to keep more than one mongoose to prevent loneliness. These little critters can be territorial, so if you're introducing them to other animals or even new humans, it should be done slowly and with caution. Mongooses can be a bit feisty, but with the right socialization, they can adapt to new situations. Like any pet, common dwarf mongooses can face certain health issues. Respiratory infections, parasites, and dental problems are among the most common. To keep your mongoose healthy, it's important to provide them with a clean, stress-free environment. Regular vet checkups are a must, especially for exotic pets like mongooses. A balanced diet, proper exercise, and mental stimulation will go a long way in preventing health problems. Make sure to provide calcium supplements in their diet to maintain strong bones and keep their living space at a comfortable temperature to prevent respiratory issues. So, how do you create the perfect home for your mongoose? First off, space is key. Dwarf mongooses may be small, but they need a lot of room to roam. A large, secure enclosure is a must, with plenty of hiding spots, tunnels, and perches for them to explore. They're natural diggers, so adding a digging box filled with dirt or sand will keep them entertained for hours. You'll also want to make sure the enclosure is escape-proof. Mongooses are clever and can easily find a way out if there's even the tiniest gap. Make sure their home has adequate lighting and temperature control to mimic their natural savanna environment. Providing them with toys and puzzles will help keep their minds sharp and prevent boredom. Now remember that question from earlier? What unlikely feathered friends do these tiny mongooses hang out with, and why? The hornbill. It's a wild partnership. Mongooses play exterminator, hornbills play bodyguard. As our furry friends scurry about, they scare up insects for the bird's buffet. In return, these feathered giants become sky-high sentinels, screeching warnings at the first sign of danger. Talk about a win-win. The mongooses get a personal alarm system, while the hornbills enjoy an all-you-can-eat bug bonanza. Who knew these pocket-sized furballs were master deal makers of the savanna? Before we wrap up, let's dive into some fun trivia about these little guys. Despite their name, dwarf mongooses aren't the smallest species of mongoose. That title goes to their cousin, the pygmy mongoose. And get this, dwarf mongooses take turns standing on their hind legs as lookouts, much like tiny meerkats. When threatened, a group of dwarf mongooses will mob predators. Picture a confused snake surrounded by a swarm of tiny fuzzy defenders. As we mentioned earlier, dwarf mongooses share a unique relationship with hornbills, who follow them around and snatch up insects they flush out. If frightened, they can release a foul-smelling odor from their anal glands, much like a mini skunk. In mongoose families, even the adult males take turns babysitting the pups. Tough little warriors turning into doting nannies? Priceless. And here's a cool one. Dwarf mongooses have been observed using their tails as snorkels while digging into termite mounds. Clever, right? Weighing just about 1 pound, dwarf mongooses won't hesitate to challenge much larger animals that invade their territory. Talk about a Napoleon complex, and there you have it, the fascinating world of the common dwarf mongoose. These little troublemakers might be small, but they have huge personalities and can be amazing, albeit challenging pets. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and leave a comment below if you'd ever consider having a mongoose as a pet. Also, be sure to check out our other videos for more exotic pet care tips. Stay tuned for the next video where you'll discover the extraordinary sensory adaptation neon red crayfish have in their eyes that humans lack. These vibrant crustaceans possess a visual superpower that allows them to perceive their underwater world in ways we can only imagine. Their unique eye structure gives them an edge in navigating murky waters, detecting prey, and avoiding predators. This aquatic ability is so advanced that scientists are studying it to develop new technologies. How do these tiny creatures see their world so differently from us? What evolutionary advantage does this give them in their watery habitats, and how might understanding their vision change the way we view the underwater realm? Prepare to dive into the fascinating world of crayfish perception and uncover a secret of nature that's hidden in plain sight, or at least hidden to our human eyes.